Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're unboxing the Allies of the Old West expansion for Shadows of Brimstone. So if you're not already familiar with Shadows of Brimstone, it's a 2 to 4 player dungeon delving style game from Flying Frog Productions. Plays in about 40 to 120 minutes, I believe, and it can be played as scenarios or in a campaign. It can be played solo, but it's the difficulty of it can get a little out of balance at solo. So Allies is one of the ways they've kind of helped the solo player by adding this expansion in particular. You are going to need the base game in order to incorporate this expansion. It's not a standalone product. Whether you have the City of Ancients or the Swamps of Death, base game doesn't really matter. It can be incorporated into either one. But again, these add allies or henchmen that you can recruit and then bring along with you into the various dungeons of the game. So here we have kind of our little explanation or rule book that Flying Frog gives out with their products, just explaining to you all the new models, basically everything that this expansion is adding to the base game, how you actually acquire your allies, so we've got quite a few figures here, and looks like they will require some assembly. So we got our pack mule here with all his gear. And then our various other henchmen. These two you'll just have to clip off. No assembly for them except putting them on bases. All right, so our list of henchmen here. We got just our standard henchmen. They've got upgrades and mutations. Here's our pack mule. Our blacksmith. Again, with mutations and upgrades. And then here's our pack mule mutations and upgrades as well. Got a few extra tokens here just to use for our different allies. All punch out really well. And then finally, our cards for our different allies. First, our little rule cards here in the back. This is something that Flying Frog does, which I really appreciate. They basically condense all the rules you need into card form so that you don't have to keep flipping back and forth with all your numerous rule books that you've accumulated. And they actually give you a couple different copies of it too as well, which is very helpful. But all the explanations for the rules on how allies work before you actually get into the allies themselves, who are gear, it looks like. Makes sense? And then we've got specifically gear for the followers. And some more darkness cards. Now, obviously, you wouldn't use these unless you're playing with the heroes, because they're specifically, I mean the allies, because they're specifically referencing them, but these appear to be the advanced version of the allies. So a little more to them. I'm sorry, these are the basic. The others are the advanced, the big cards. Here are the basic ones. Obviously, they each have a cost on them. And that's it. That's everything in the Allies of the Old West expansion for Shadows of Brimstone. If you already have one of the base copies of the game and you're looking for a little help with your solo play, take a look at this one.